We should hold all politicians to a very high degree of scrutiny and suspicion, but no, they are not rock stars. They will never be rock stars. There's never been a president like Mick Jagger or Jimi Hendrix, so cut it out.
No, presidents are not rock stars, but our current president really wants to be one, and he absolutely hates it when actual rock stars speak out against him. We've seen a meltdown over being denounced by everyone from Bruce Springsteen to Taylor Swift. And last night, MTV had the annual Video Music Awards, and everyone was wondering, will any of the music stars use their platform to denounce the hate and ignorance we're seeing coming out of the gold-covered Oval Office? And I got to say, the older generation, you kind of let me down, but the younger crop of pop stars did not. So hit subscribe to Really American Media as we keep on rocking in the free world. And it's important to note, MTV is owned by Paramount. And why is that important to point out?
Paramount Global and CBS have agreed today to pay President Donald Trump a sum that could reach north of $30 million. There is an expectation that there will be another allocation in the mid-8 figures set aside for advertisements, public service announcements, or other similar transmissions in support of conservative causes.
Yeah, Paramount decided to bend the knee to King Trump, and not only did they pay the guy millions of dollars to settle a lawsuit that they could have and should have won based on a thing called free speech, but they also promised to promote conservative talking points and eliminate a so-called liberal bias in their programming. And given that the facts already have a liberal bias built into them, because, liberalism is based on facts like believing in science, everyone has been wondering, what will Paramount try to change? And it certainly seems that they were worried about protest coming from the musicians at the VMA, and perhaps that is why the host of the show, Mr. LL Cool J, started off the night by saying this.
Now tonight, we're all here for one reason: music. Music is a force that brings us all together, and we're leaving everything else at the door. This is our night off.
Yeah, that would be LL Cool J seemingly telling his fellow artists, the ones that unlike him are still relevant, to leave the politics at the front door. Who knew the LL stood for losing liberals, because the backlash online was immediate from the left. One person commented, hip-hop was founded on bringing awareness to the struggle. The revolution never sleeps. Or, if you don't do politics, politics will do you, which is spot on. Or, how about this guy that said, just lost all respect for him. Anyone who's anti-discussing politics is anti-doing the right thing, anti-empathy, anti-human rights. What there's really no room for is people like that, especially when it comes to art. Preach on, brother. And then there's this person who is making the same point that I am by saying, quote, we definitely need breaks from politics, but the fact that he even had to say this proves Paramount is turning CBS into a right-wing media outlet that feels it has to censor free speech in order to maintain acceptance from Trump and their new ownership, end quote, and right on. So it does seem like LL Cool J has gone from Mama said knock you out to Trump said knock it off, and he bent the knee for all to see. So since LL, who is 57 years old, has let me down, perhaps a 26-year-old can save the day. Yeah, that would be Sabrina Carpenter coming up out of a manhole in the stage, which kind of reminds me of this other artist who was willing to ruffle a few feathers by showing Trump coming out of a manhole in New York City recently. That is good stuff, but getting back to Sabrina Carpenter at the VMAs, the political pushback started to go up a notch as the song went on. Yeah, Sabrina has surrounded herself by drag queens, something that MAGA world really seems to hate, even though their dear leader wears more makeup than RuPaul ever could. But it's hard to tell at this point. Is it really a political protest or not? So Sabrina literally spells it out for us all with these signs. Yeah, you know it's a protest when the signs come out, and there's some good ones in there, like Protect Trans Rights or In Trans We Trust. Although my favorite one is this: If you hate, you'll never get laid, which is funny and accurate and appropriate. It's true, in the modern world of online dating, Trumpers are often shunned by women who actually want to protect the rights that generations of women before them fought for and are now disappearing. And mega men are seeing that in the dating world.
Like, I've been swiping hundreds of times on the dating app. I only got like a couple matches before, and they said, "What do you do for a living?" And I told the woman that I don't have a job, I'm unemployed, but I post videos on TikTok about Trump. And then she was like, she was like, "Why would you do that?" And then I said, "Because he's my favorite president." And then no response at all. Apparently, it's funny to give no responses to me at all.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mega Boy. It's just you and your hand tonight. The same hand you used to cast your vote for Trump. Oh, the irony. But fear not, Mega World. Sabrina Carpenter did include one thing that you should like, because apparently she backs the blue. Oh, how nice of her to bring some of New York's finest up on the stage with her. And those cops are in really good shape. So I'm sure the streets are safer already, and there's no need to send the troops to New York or to Chicago. But as we saw this weekend, Trump, much like those drag performers, likes to play dress up.
Posting what appeared to be an AI-generated image of himself in front of the Chicago skyline in flames and the phrase, "Shipocalypse now," saying, quote, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning," and, quote, "Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War."
Well, Trump may not be a queen, but he's definitely a drag. So a huge thanks to Sabrina Carpenter for fighting the good fight, being on the right side of history, and for continuing the very long tradition of musicians speaking truth to power. So like her music and like this video, comment below and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media. Let's run through the list after I take a very deep breath. All right. We got Beyonce, Celine Dion, Isaac Hayes, Jack White, Sinead O'Connor's estate, Foo Fighters, ABBA, The Village People, Journey, Neil Young, The Rolling Stones, John Fogerty, Tom Petty's estate. How about Phil Collins, Aerosmith, Rihanna, REM, Adele, Earth, Wind and Fire, George Harrison, Guns N' Roses, Linkin Park, Nickelback, Ozzy Osbourne, Pharrell, Prince, Rufus Wainwright, Queen, Elton John, Taylor Swift. Ooh, not to mention being outright denounced by Bruce Springsteen, the Dropkick Murphys, Pearl Jam, and Green Day, just to name a few. And if I forgot somebody, comment below.